Keep it high, keep it tight. I'm GMorph's Review Guy, back to bring you another 5-minute review. Yes, we're still doing those. Those are still in full swing. I've just been mixing it up, releasing some different videos, seeing how you guys like it. And, of course, the fan appreciation reviews are coming back in full swing. I've been currently listening to some of the recommendations, and reviews of those albums are going to come out soon. So, the Overwatch guides are continuing, and pretty much the channel's just continuing to grow, and I can't thank you guys enough for your continual support that you have. Given this channel, I would have never guessed that this would have blown up and become something as big as it is right now, and I really appreciate that you guys are supporting me and continuing to watch my videos. So today we are, of course, talking about Language by the Contortionist. So I reviewed Clairvoyant, and I titled that, if I remember right, the bracket quote was, because I occasionally put some bracket quotes. If I remember right, the bracket quote in that was one of the best albums that I've heard in a long time, or something like that. And that doesn't do it the type of justice it truly deserves, because I absolutely love that album. And I want to get to review the Contortionist entire discography if possible. I want to review Exoplanet, I want to review Language, I want to review Intrinsic and their EPs, and anything that they come out with in the future. So, Language is probably their most well-known album. I don't think anyone can really deny that it's the one that most people say is their magnum opus. It's the one that you see reviewed the most. It's the one that you see a lot of people talk about. And well, here's the thing about that. I still like Clairvoyant more than I like Language. Now, maybe that's nostalgia because it was the first Contortionist album I heard, or maybe it just has something to do with, I don't know. I mean, I just personally really enjoy the sound more on Clairvoyant, but as I listen through Language, I can't put it down at all. From the first song, when you hear the source, it's like that just opening track alone is very, very melodic, and it's funny enough, it's one of my favorite Contortionist tracks, even though it's only about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and it doesn't have too much vocalization. There's just a little bit at the end, but this is only a 9-track album, and it's fairly long. Clairvoyant's a lot longer. I know Clairvoyant's about 57 minutes. This one's somewhere in the mid to late 40 minutes. I haven't counted. I haven't looked up how long it is. But Language, I think, is very, very essential for people that are progressive fans. And for me, I am a progressive music fan. And The Contortionist is like a dream come true in band form, because if you have seen my top 30 favorite bands and of rock and metal, you will know that The Contortionist was very, very high on that list, and that still stands true. Contortionist, if anything, has gotten higher up on the list because, that it's just amazing. And I want to do a discography review of the Contortionist albums, so if you'd like to see that, definitely let me know there. And I think Language sets up a lot of interesting kind of ideas that it plays off of well. And of course, this is the Contortionist, and more specifically, this is a progressive band. They have great instrumentation. That's just how it is. I know that on Clairvoyant there wasn't hardly any gruff vocals. It was just singing, occasionally belted out vocals, and they played a lot with different vocalizations on Language. They had growls, screams, singing, and I think that this album reminds me of someone. They remind me of, or specifically this album reminds me of Between the Buried and Me, because they are constantly playing around with different types of ways of doing the songs that they're trying to present, and that's what Between the Buried and Me does. It's like you never really know what the Contortionist is going to do next, and I really like that unpredictability about the band, because in progressive music, it has a rep of being sometimes a bit mundane and a bit over the top or simplistic, either way of the spectrum. And people say that like the progressive metalcore scene or the gent scene is useless and that it's not as great as some people say, well, to that I say check out the Contortionist, because they are really pushing boundaries, and there are a lot of people's favorite progressive bands, or in their favorite progressive bands, for a good reason. So I'll talk to you guys next time. This has been J-Morse Review Guy. I'm going to give this album a 9 out of 10. It is very, very strong. Not as strong as Clairvoyant, but very strong. I'll talk to you guys next time. This has been J-Morse Review Guy signing off, saying farewell.